Thanksgiving event celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
It all started with a chance encounter at a convenience store. One woman decided she didn't want anybody to be alone for Thanksgiving's meal. So she did something about it, and now it is an annual thing that draws hundreds of people from all over. Mary Kay Von Brendel is here with more about the community Thanksgiving dinner that she started. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
I know, right? It's shocking that we've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
Incredible. And you do it in Washington County, and that's the area primarily that you serve. Has your idea, are you aware of any other communities who are doing similar things?
Yes, several from this event. I think there's been 3 or 4 different communities that have contacted me, and I kind of gave them the walkthrough of how I did it. You know, a lot of pitfalls of what to avoid, and but yeah, I think it's a great concept, and I think people are actually picking it up and kind of taking the bull by the horns and starting their own in their own community, which I think is fantastic.
Wonderful.
It's that ripple effect, that happens when you do good. So I love the story about how you started this. I think it's worth telling every single year. So tell people exactly how this got started for you.
I feel like I've told this a million times.
It never gets old, though. It's such a beautiful story.
We were traveling, like you were talking about, like the family thing. Talk about coming from out of state and having to share that time between families. So we were coming from one family celebration, packing the little kids up in the car, and they're crabby because you had to take them from their cousins and then drive them a little bit over an hour to the next family celebration, and they're getting crabby in the car. And so I like to say, crabby kids equals crabby mom. So we stopped at a 7-Eleven so I could run in and get some snackage. And while I was there, I ended up encountering an older gentleman, a bit disheveled, was standing in front of the freezer section and trying to pick out the TV dinner that he was going to take home that night and eat for Thanksgiving. And
and probably alone.
Right. Yeah. And talk about a moment that really put things into perspective. Here, I'm crabby because I have to go from one family celebration to the next, and here's this gentleman that's going to be going home alone and eating a TV dinner. And it was like something that had been gnawing on me for years. And so finally one night, I couldn't sleep, but it was just one of those overwhelming things that it was like, you're going to do this, and you're going to get up and you're going to do it now. So I went down to my computer, got on my email, sent an email to all of my database and said, I know you think I'm crazy, but this is going to prove it, because in 2 weeks, I'm going to host a community Thanksgiving dinner. I need money and I need bodies. The first year we served 57 people at St. Mary's in Barton. A couple years later, New Hope UCC in Jackson joined us, and then a couple years after that, Faith Lutheran in Germantown joined us, and now we also do home delivery. So we serve the entire Washington County.
How many people is it?
Over 600.
Okay, and I've been there. I'm glad we're showing pictures, because some people have maybe an idea in their heads about how it looks to serve people who are alone at Thanksgiving, or people who don't have a place to go for a holiday meal like this. But let me tell you, what you put on with the white linens and the decorations, and I remember being there with my kids, and then we'd serve coffee, but it's all about conversation. So the people that help you have wonderful volunteers, because they greet people and they sit with people at the meal, and they talk to people, and people leave happy and engaged and full, and the food is spectacular. You have absolutely everything. It's the turkey, the gravy, the mashed potatoes. I mean, it is a full meal that is delicious, and lots of, I think lots of happy people at this.
The food?
I actually use a caterer now. We kind of outgrew our kitchen space, so I use a caterer from Kewaskum. She does a phenomenal job, and I really want the concept of people to feel like they're coming into our home, and that they feel welcomed. And I think the volunteers get just as much out of it as the people that attend, and I think that's what's important about the entire event.
And I remember too, I know you mentioned that you've added delivery service, but I remember at the church we were at, I believe in West Bend, that you had volunteers who were picking people up and bringing them to the church.
Right.
So if transportation is an issue for people, and you open this up to everybody who would otherwise be alone at Thanksgiving, if transportation is an issue, they can reach out to you about that as well. Yes,
most definitely, and we will find a way to get them there.
Yeah,
I love that.
So people can still attend. You've got room for people to come and be a part of it, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to make reservations. I mean, if you're contemplating whether or not you want to attend, and the day of you decide, I don't want to be here by myself and look at these 4 walls, please come.
Yeah,
definitely.
Do you still need people to help serve too and greet people?
I do need volunteers. Yeah, and I know, when we get closer to the end, I start running out of positions for volunteers. So I created a new position in the last couple of years, professional minglers.
That's what I was. I think that's what I was.
You do this on Thanksgiving Day, right?
Thanksgiving Day.
In the morning, so that people can then get to their family as well.
Right.
So they can take part with all of it.
We start at 8 a.m. and we go until about 4, sometimes 6 o'clock at night.
All right.
Fantastic. I love it. So there are 3 locations that you can visit for this Thanksgiving celebration. Volunteer there. If you're alone for Thanksgiving, go and have a wonderful meal with really nice people who will make sure that you have a wonderful holiday. St. Mary's in West Bend, also New Hope UCC Church, that's in Jackson. Then now Faith Lutheran Church, also in Germantown, 10 years of this incredible celebration, which is great. You can also call for more information, 262-208-5180. You don't have a website for this? Is that right?
I have a Facebook page.
You have a Facebook page.
There you
okay,
go.
so people
Community
can go to
Thanksgiving
Facebook
dinner.
and they put in, okay, wonderful. But call for more information. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
you
it
so
when
much.
you're here.
Appreciate it. Still